What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. The biggest evidence I have for my trauma is by witnessing the emotional home that my body and brain find most familiar. I say evidence because I don't really look at my past as something that traumatized me. Of course, my family was just as dysfunctional as everyone else's, but I had a lot of love. I had a lot of things. And in the broad view of my past, unless I really get nitpicky, I don't consider my upbringing to be a traumatizing one. But that's what's insidious about traumas. We don't really detect when they sneak in the door. It's hard to detect where I stopped feeling heard and got louder or quieter. It's hard to know where I got so used to the chaos that without it, I feel more anxious and I feel calmest in a storm. It's hard to know when that happened. But those things created a pattern, a way of being, maybe in compensation for something that I can't even consciously point to. But my body knew. Whatever part of me that yearns knew. And then it created a version of me to deal with it, to cope with it, which is what many of us call our personalities. Just a collection of behaviors and biases that we have learned to be around and expect. And I wouldn't think there's anything wrong with that. But I find that there is, because you aren't always in the same environment. And so the things that you have patterned in compensating for no longer fit, are no longer required. But because you don't know any better, you are the hammer and everything looks like a nail. And then you operate the same way when the situation doesn't call for it. And almost force the situation, mold the situation to start looking like the one in which you had to compensate in the first place. In a way, you re-traumatize yourself, because that's the way you know how to be in the world. It becomes a self-reinforcing loop, a self-fulfilling prophecy. I can notice this tendency of mine almost as soon as my mind wakes up in the morning, or as the last thoughts when shutting off at night. My first and last thoughts are those that trigger my anger, or trigger a strong emotional response. Self-pity, anguish of any kind is the flavor that it likes. I almost laugh at it sometimes because I can see it. And I laugh saying, sure, brain, go ahead. Try to settle all of your differences at this exact moment. Yes, at all the problems that you've ever had, this is the perfect time to try and tackle and solve all of them. Perfect. Just keep going. And it lightens the mood, at least inside of my brain, a little. But it's just funny and sad to witness, because it is clear that my emotional home, the one I feel most comfortable in, most familiar in, the one I recognize the most, requires me to be on defense, requires me to be on offense, requires me to be on guard, requires me to make everything hard. Ease is clearly not my emotional home, or there would be signs of it. If you inquire within yourself, can you see such patterns? I often wonder this about people and their demeanor, and how some people always walk around with the same flavor of energy. They wake up mad, remain distant and curt in their interactions. They respond to every small thing that doesn't go their way as if it's the biggest thing in the world. They do this day in and day out. Again, settled in personality. But then the world they continue to create forward from that personality ends up matching the very one that created that personality in the first place. And then it solidifies it even more, the need for it even more. We self-punish and recreate the very conditions under which we were imprisoned, and never let ourselves go. I don't even know what to say on how to achieve it either. I don't know how to make it stop. I don't know how to tell my brain to not try and take me towards what its most familiar neural pattern is. The automatic negative thoughts, the ants that have been repeated 1,000 times, 100,000 times, 1,000,000 times. It's so embedded that I can't really control the emerging of it. What I can do is become conscious of it, pay attention to it, witness it, invite it, joke with it, laugh it off, tell it to simmer down, and have replacement thoughts that occupy the space in the brain that needs to consume energy. Give it something to replace those negative thoughts with. That's all I know to do, is just to give it better things and hope that I do that enough times, I am aware enough times, redirect enough times, replace with better thoughts enough times that the emotional home starts to shift. Because you can't expect to wake up in a new house and have it feel like home tomorrow. It won't feel like home. You will feel like a guest, a stranger, and get homesick and feel the urge to go back home. It's only when you start shifting your home a little at a time, do one project here, upgrade that room there, redecorate this one, repurpose that one. Only in that slow process do you feel home, because you make it a home that you evolve into. We constantly create what is in our core. The world around us is a mirrored reflection of our internal nature. Your life will always be chaos if there is chaos in your soul. Wherever you go, there you are. There is no escaping it. So if you want a peaceful existence, you cannot start by imposing it on your environment. You have to expose it out of yourself. See it, give it light, and then let it go. I love you, family. Stay true always. I see you on the next show.